It took 82 years for the first woman to win an Oscar.
Alam mo na parang hindi lang yung pagiging direktor ang binitbit nila, but also yung pagiging babae nila.
Bakit ang daming barriers? Who's causing the barriers? It's the men.
Ewan ko, lagi parang yun ang mantra ko, Lord, make me an instrument of your miracle. Kasama na ng I love my job, I love my job, I love my job. Kasi pag nasa-stress ka na.
After being a line producer, naisip ko, I want to be the one to tell stories.
Hello!
Hi! Hello!
Oh my God!
Good to see you!
Good to see you, Direk!
Hello, hello!
Diyos ko, Lord.
Kinakabahan ka ba?
Sanay.
The film industry has long been shaped by powerful voices. Among the most compelling are those of women directors. Now, these women have not only made, broken barriers, but also made a mark in an industry historically dominated by men. Now, in this episode, we celebrate the women who continue to transform the world of film one frame at a time. My name is MJ Felipe, and this is Behind the Reel. Okay, are you ready?
Yes! Let's go! Let's go!
Game na ba? Excited na bang magbahagi ng ating mga insights, stories, di ba? Para sa ating mga panonood ngayong araw na to. To begin our discussion, let's take a moment to reflect on this. I have some facts here written. It took 82 years for the first woman to win an Oscar. In 2010, I think Catherine Bigelow won the Best Director for the movie Hurt Locker. And since then, only two other women have won the same prize. Chloe Zhao for Nomadland and Jane Campion for Power of the Dog. Here in the Philippines, we also celebrated, of course, the one and only our national artist, Direk Marilu Diaz-Abaya, for her wonderful body of work in our own awards, di ba? Award-giving bodies. Pag naririnig nyo to, as we celebrate these women making a mark in the world of film, what comes to mind? Direk Baby Ruth, ikaw muna.
Oh my God. Well, clearly the contrast is, is a powerful story in itself. I guess because our society is also rooted on, we're a matriarchal society, so we celebrate women. As early as pre-war, actually the first Filipina director, kababayan ko from Baliwag, Carmen Concha, na ginawa niya yung ang yaman ng mga mahirap, The Wealth of the Poor, 1939. So as early as that, we have our cinema led by women. So sinabihan lang din kasi ako noon nung umuwi ako sa Baliwag. So parang ako, wow, ang galing. And kumbaga nakakatuwa lang na, we have our own style of leading and telling our story. And sa akin, kumbaga yung recognition na yun, nakakatuwa, but at the same time, it's still evolving because we are such a young industry.
Pero it opened doors, Direk Ronnie, di ba?
Totoo naman na ang Philippine cinema mas inclusive than Hollywood.
Okay.
Pero it's because, Filipino women, they have prominent roles in family and public life. Pero, hindi lang, we still have to face several challenges. Like for me, people have told me, men directors have told me, kasi nakuha mo yung ikaw na magdidirect niyan kasi babae ka, mas gusto nila babae.
Okay.
Tapos parang yung concept ang weird, no? Hindi yung skill mo or yung vision mo of the film ang kino-consider, pero yung gender.
Ano sinabi mo, Direk?
Pag ganun, Kasi iniisip mo, siya rin gusto niya mag-direct eh.
Okay.
So alam mo na may halong inggit.
Yun naman pala yun.
Pag ganon, it's either, pwede ka naman makipag-away or, pero, you know, ako yung kinuha eh. So, just watch the film. Parang ganun yung, you know, you have to prove yourself constantly as a woman director.
Okay. Direct May, pag naririnig mo yung mga ni-rundown ko kanina ng mga women who made the mark, what comes to
It's
mind?
very inspiring. Naalala ko kasi nung kasi I come from a family na 4 kami magkakapatid na babae. Tapos ang gusto kong trabaho, yung trabaho na konti lang ang lalaki. Kasi nga, konti lang ang babae. Kasi nga, parang feeling ko, kasi sa bahay ko, puro babae na kami.
Okay.
And then, I heard Direk Marilu Diaz-Abaya speak in UP. And then, nung kinikwento niya yung challenges of being a female director, na sinasabi niya yung pag-uwi niya sa bahay, hindi siya direktor, nanay pa siya, asawa pa siya, parang ganon. So, meron pa siyang, pag naririnig mo yung mga women directors who made it, alam mo na parang hindi lang yung pagiging direktor ang binitbit nila, but also yung pagiging babae nila. Kasi meron silang malalaking roles, very important roles in the family and in the Filipino family or the Filipino institution, napakalaki ng role ng pamilya. Napakalaki ng role ng nanay, napakalaki ng role ng may bahay. So parang may expectations, and when you see them succeed, Direk Loris, Direk Marilu, nakikita mo silang ganyan. Parang it's very inspiring at gusto ko, at na-inspire ako, isa ko sa mga estudyante noon na na-inspire na maging female director. And I hope that marami pa at dumami pa ang mga female directors na makapagsasabi na kaya to, na parang okay, meron tayong roles pero kaya natin yan, girl.
Kung kaya nila, kaya ko rin, di ba? They really paved the way, no?
Yes,
for all of you. Direk Sari, ikaw.
Oh, well, now that you talk about Direk Marilu Diaz-Abaya, she really, she's the most ideal filmmaker talaga, no? She broke the celluloid glass ceiling, no? And I think Marilu Diaz-Abaya also propagated the feminist. Meron siyang ginawang trilogy, no? Moral, brutal, carnal, no? So I think she really wanted to push for the women's stories. And I think really for me, gender doesn't really matter.
Totoo naman.
I mean, sana. Pero that's not the scenario eh. We have to address it. Ang daming parang barriers. So now it matters. Kasi when you talk about galing, whether you are a woman or a man, dapat wala na sanang ganon. But then you realize, in all levels of power structure, you know, and pala talaga, we really need to push ourselves. And then when we look at the landscape of cinema, no, what do you hear? Bakit ang daming barriers? Who's causing the barriers? It's the men. Di ba? All this, what you call this, yung mga misogynistic tendencies, also yung mga padrino system,
right.
the boys club, you know.
Very fraternal.
You know, parang in the beginning when you are in starting, hindi mo siya nararamdaman, you know. But then you start hearing stories na merong isang PA na babae na na parang inappropriate yung mga actions sa kanya or ill treatment. And then you start kasi hindi ka kagad maging director until you know what's really happening on the ground, you know. So you have to know, you know, from the ground up, you know. So it's being the director isn't just about having a vision, but also understanding what's really happening around you. And then you see there's a lot of exploitation, there's a lot of injustice happening to the women. So that's when you realize, okay, it does matter.
It does matter. Ang natutuwa ako, habang pinapakinggan ko kayo, kahit na first question pa lang tayo, first chikahan pa lang tayo, ang na-realize ko kaagad, may inspire sa inyo, now you're inspiring the next generation. Di ba? Parang andun na kayo sa role na yon. Di ba?
We hope to do that.
Oh,
that's what we want to do. Because parang, syempre, it doesn't stop with them or it doesn't stop with us. It has to be, nakakatuwa nga kasi I remember sinasabi nila Inang sa amin, si Direk Rory tsaka si Inang, before them it was Direk Marilu, and then parang they came in pairs, and then naging parang hanggang sa dumadami ng dumadami. Kasi like, ang dami na ngayon, dumami na talaga.
Sobrang dami na,
exponentially.
yes.
Ang female directors. And I see, pag kunwari sa mga festivals, nakikita mo sa mga estudyante, ang dami ng babaeng sumasali. And nakakatuwa na parang they may have been inspired by one female director too. We don't know who, but it doesn't matter. Ang importante, nai-inspire sila, and one day they will inspire other women directors, and then we will have a community of female directors.
Ganda. Tuloy natin yung flow of inspiring stories. I wanna know, how did you start? Kasi, di ba si Direk Loris, you mentioned kanina, started as an actress, right? Joyce Bernal started as editor. Di ba?
Yeah.
So, i-share nyo naman sa akin, paano ba kayo nagsimula? Ano bang mga humble beginnings?
Ako ay naging PA.
Ng
Nagsimula
Nino?
ako sa Star Cinema.
Star Cinema.
My very first project was originally action film. Oo, first project ko dapat action film. So, ina-attend ako ng meeting. Tapos yung meeting, malamig na room. Tapos doon, so gumaganyan-ganyan ako. Tapos sabi, parang nilalamig yung PA natin Pakuha nga ng jacket sa kotse ko, gunanon. Tapos, hindi, okay lang po. Hindi, pakuha mo. Hindi, okay lang po. Anyway, after the meeting, yung producer ko lumapit sa akin, sabi niya, May, delikado ka dun sa action project. Sabi niya, ililipat kita sa Magic Temple sa mga bata. Parang mas safe ka doon. So parang yun yung first experience ko na parang, ganun pala yun. Kasi parang I didn't expect that kind of treatment. So anyway, yung first ko was naging ko PA dun sa Magic Temple, and because it was under Direk Peke Galyaga, Direk Glory Reyes, it was such an amazing experience. So parang very good training siya, and then after that I became a script continuity. Tapos after ko maging script continuity, naging assistant director ako. Pero yung paakyat na yon, syempre lahat yon luha, dugot pawis, kasi ganon. And I really had to prove myself. Tapos naalala ko nga yung parang yung challenge Kasi parang how do you, especially as an assistant director, how do you command a set? Puro lalaki yung mga di ba? Yung crew, ganyan, engineering.
Papakinggan ka ba nito?
Oo, syempre, minsan kahit malakas boses mo, kahit may command, paano ba yung timpla? Paano ba yung timpla na mapapasunod mo lahat?
Right.
Siyempre, sinisindak ako nung umpisa na parang the AD before me was Kathy Garcia. Sampana. So, sabi, kagaya ka ba ni Kathy, ha? Mabunganga ka ba? Ganyan-ganyan, parang ganun. So, parang sinisindak ka na kaagad. So, parang ako, paano ba ang timpla na? Tapos may kita mo na, lipat na tayo. Tapos may titignan ka lang, tapos ang bagal kumilos. So, parang, paano ko ba ito mapapasunod? Ang hirap. Tapos ang lang doon is, eventually, the reason why sumunod sila, kasi nagkagusto sa akin yung TD. Yung technical director. So, nung nagkagusto sa akin yung technical director, bilisan natin, gusto kasi ni sabi ko, parang that's so sad. Kasi parang sandali pa lang yun. Parang ako, ganun ba? O, di gamitin natin yun. Talagang every time na kumbaga parang sa akin, okay, ganito yung ganito pala yung sistema ninyo, ha? Pero parang sa akin, it's unfair kasi parang doon, yun yung reason.
Just because of that,
yun yung reason kung bakit. Pero eventually, of course, like regardless of sex, respect is earned.
Direk Ronnie, ikaw?
Ako, actually, was very lucky. I started, yung first production job ko, it was in a telemagazine program, Isip Pinoy. And then, yung yung Isip Pinoy, ang roster niya ng director, si Lino Broca, si Ishmael Bernal, si Toronyo, Joel Lamangan. So, I was able to work with them. So, nag-PPA, nag-AD. Tapos, most of the time, ako yung nag-interview, ako taga-transcribe ng lahat. So, ako lagi nasa editing. Ako yung yung sinagot niya, nandito sa, tape number, ganyan. Diba, mga yumatic pa. Oh my God. And then, I remember, nasa IBC, nasa Broadcasting
City.
Kami, tapos si Direk Ishma, may dala-dala niya yung nunal sa tubig.
Wow.
Pero ako, busy ako kasi hinahanap ko nga yung hinahanap na interview. Sabi niya, pinaplay niya, sabi niya, have you seen nunal sa tubig? Sabi ko, no, Direk. Ha? Bakit hindi? Tapos sabi niya, tapos inano niya, pinaplinay niya yung isang eksena, yung paano na shoot, yung umiikot-ikot, tinali niya yung camera sa ceiling, so umiikot-ikot. Tapos hindi ako nakikinig kasi nga busy ako eh. 'Di ba? Busy ako. Pag naramdaman ko na lang, kinuha niya yung kamay ko. Kasi papasok niya yung daliri sa ilong niya.
Oh my
God! Direct. Oh my God! Ano ba? Okay, I'll pay attention. And then, from walang pera, I went into advertising. And that's where I learned how to shoot, how to, kung ano-anong ginagawa. And then, doon, after being a line producer, naisip ko, I want to be the one to tell stories na. So, mahilig ako magbasa. So, since mahilig ako magbasa, gusto ko magsulat. So, that's how I became a director. From writing became my entry point. So, I wrote Inang Yaya.
Okay.
And then, sobrang pakialimera ko doon sa pelikula kasi I wrote it. Kinuha nila akong co-director.
Direct Baby Ruth, ikaw naman.
Oh my God. And you know what? Filmmaking was really far from my dream. Like, hindi siya part ng initial path ko kasi I took up journalism.
Okay.
In college, isa akong Tomasian. So, nagkataon lang na walang filmmaking at nakulangan ako sa photography subject dun sa school namin. So, after graduation, walang magawa. So, I took up photography. Pero I've always been curious sa mga totoong buhay ng mga tao. So, my path has always been not glamorous, but very grounded, I guess.
Okay.
Probinsyana pa ako. Tapos, ang ano lang naman namin na walang internet kasi laking lolo't lola ko. Ayaw nila ng mga ganyan. So, TV lang talaga yung window ko. So, napapanood ko lang. So, parang na-amaze lang ako na paano kaya nila ginagawa itong mga bagay-bagay na to. And then, I took up my internship sa Reuters.
Okay.
My God. So, doon ko naranasan na, baptism by fire.
Baptism of fire.
Baptism of fire. Dahil doon, ang news, dapat mauna ka sa news.
Tama.
Kasi Reuters is in the business of selling news to news stations.
Tama.
So, nangyayari yung news, dapat nandun ka na. Bago matapos yung news, tapos ka nang i-process siya. So, I had to undergo a lot of pressure talaga. Yun yung time na parang may mga kudeta na kailangan mong pumasok sa kudeta kasi kailangan mo na exclusive dun sa sa Magdalo Group.
Right.
Na nagdadala ako ng pagkain habang parang kumbaga palabas yung mga tao. Ako may dala akong hypermart grocery kasi kailangan ko po kayong ma-interview.
So wait, Direk, itong mga kwento mo, these are naging journalism, naging entry point mo to filmmaking.
Because napagod ako dun sa cycle na after doing it for 6 years, parang sabi ko, kasi lagi ko pinagdadasal, Lord, make me an instrument of your miracle. Ewan ko, lagi parang yun lang yung mantra ko, Lord, make me an instrument of your miracle. Kasama na ng I love my job, I love my job, I love my job. Kasi yung pinasistress ka na. So, nung na-realize ko na parang, am I really contributing to change? And I really love listening to people's story. Na parang kulang yung time. Nasabi din ng mga boss ko, saan ka pupunta? Sa kabilang network and stuff. Sabi ko, I don't know. But definitely not. So I tried being independent. And then nagkataon na yung National Geographic Channel was looking for a researcher.
Wow.
So I just said yes, blindly. Sabi ko, bahala na. Ano pong gagawin? Hahanapin ang remaining survivors of Doña Paz. Which happened 1987, Christmas. So I spent 4 years of my life just doing that film.
Wow.
And I love it. I love every day of it. Because I was able to spend more time. And we were able to get justice for them after the documentary. So sabi ko, baka may puwang yung documentary to really, may magawa man lang na something meaningful. So, of course, hindi siya madali. Dami pa rin kailangan pagdaanan. You have to dance with all these personalities, all these, machismo type of people. Wala eh. Parang I find, it's a very unglamorous job. But andun yung meaning, nakita ko siya.
Yung importante sa lahat.
Yeah.
Galing! Ganda! Okay, ito naman kay Direk Sari. I'm curious.
So, ako naman, I come from a family of visual artists.
Oh my God,
Yung tatay ko, mami ko, gumagawa ng sculptures. Yung sister ko, she's like parang brilliant 5-year-old. She was making hundreds of sculptures.
Wow!
So I dabble into all of this, no? Parang Pero one thing was very clear, mahilig kami na manood ng sine. So, but iba yung orientation ng parents ko dahil nasa arts world sila. So, we watch a lot of world cinema. Nanood kami ng mga Japanese film, Akira Kurosawa, German films, a lot of art films and animation. Nanonood kami sa TV ng mga Nora Honor, mga Dolphy, So, we were watching a lot of film. I saw Star Wars on the big screen, yung ganyan. So, I really wasn't quite sure where I was going to do. Kasi parang hindi naman sa play or sa painting. And then finally, nung pa-high school na ako, I learned that UP was offering film.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was, sabi ko, sige, try ko. Pero nagpaalam mo nung sa parents ko. Kasi parang I had this impression, if film was going to be expensive.
Okay.
Kasi gagawa ka ng project, diba? Wala naman akong technical skill, right? So, nagpaalam ako, and then they said yes, ganyan. Pero una, pumusta muna ako sa Ateneo tsaka sa Lasal. And then sabi ng father ko, kasi last maglabas ng upcut ng result, di ba? So I passed Ateneo, I passed Lasal, and then my dad said, atay mo muna yung upcut.
Okay.
And then that's when I got into UP.
Galing.
So nung time na yun, bagong-bago pa lang yung film program. It was like just 3 years old.
Okay.
Ganyan. So, and I remember, doon, yung mamimit mo yung community, si Sir Ricky Lee, tapos si Trace Bernal, And then, but the film program itself at the time was not perfect, no?
Okay.
Kasi napansin ko rin na we were studying Lino Broca, we were studying Charlotte na, we were studying Maestra Leon. Walang babae. Ganyan. So parang, in a way, pero I was already aware of Direk Marilu Diaz-Zabaya. Ganyan. So, that's when, film education was something that I also fell in love with, and short films, no? And that's when I also started doing the workshops sa Mowell Fund.
Yeah.
And I found alternative space which is alternative cinema, which I really love. So parang naging first love ko, short films and experimental, yung ganun. So parang sabi ko, meron palang pelikula na kakaiba, na iba yung forma niya, na hindi lang industry, commercial, narrative. So it was a space that documentary, may animation, and I felt that it was something that I'm comfortable. And then probably one of the highlight of my film education life was internship, no? And then, kumbaga matindi mga internship kong yun. Pero internship ko was Lino Broca.
Wow!
So, he was editing sa kabila ng lahat.
Okay.
And it turned out that sa Magnatech yun, doon ko na-meet yung mga stuntman naman, si Rowell Bernal, na nakatambay sa Tropical Hut, katapat ng It was, tapos nagdadabing sila. Ang ganda ng environment.
Wow, yes.
And then there's Lino Broca na, talagang, we're just observing him, hindi namin siya masyadong pinupulo. Tsaka hindi naman niya ako sinikawan.
Okay.
Ganyan. And then, the heartbreaking news was, I think 2 days later, after akong nagpuyat sa Magnatech, we call it, tawag doon, yung nagpupuyat kayo, di ba? Yes. Si George, sino ba yung ng editor niya noon? Si George, basta yung magkapatid.
Harlego.
Yeah, I think so.
George.
Oh, yeah. So, we learned that he got into an car accident. So that film would be his last movie. Yeah, so, grabe, parang sobrang precious sa akin kasi nakapanayam si Direk Lino.
Right.
Ganyan. And then, yun, and talagang sinundan ko lahat hanggang sa week niya sa CRL, sa Christ of the Risen Lord. Sorry, tama ba? Church sa UP, ganyan. And then, napaka-powerful ng experience na yon. Si Direk Marilu Diaz-Zabaya rin, sumilip ako sa set niya. Kasi wala akong naging model na babae. So, nag-shoot siya ng malaking pelikula, si Direk Marilu. Ateneo siya nagtuturo noon. So, ako, saling pusa. And then she invited me to observe her set. And then she became a model. Kasi nakita ko na she was, di ba, sobrang masculine nga ng set, di ba? Pero may mga nakikita pictures na yung mga anak niya kasama niya.
Yes.
Dinadala niya sa set niya, nakaupo sa lap niya, ito yung camera. So parang normally you would see parang pag film set, parang walang bata, tapos very masculine, bawal maglaro, ganyan.
Pero sa kanya iba.
Pero parang it's very maternal yung atmosphere. So parang nakita ko that he opened up so much to me na parang pwede pala. Kasi you know what, may mga film workers na babae, pag nabubuntis sila, tinatago nila. Kasi mawawalan sila ng racket. Di ba? Kasi tatanggalin sila sa trabaho pag buntis sila, ganyan. Or, and then ngayon, now you can breastfeed on set. Now there's doing Baltazar shooting with her kid. And there's si Maria Hamora in the US. She's also bringing her kid. So parang, I think Marilu paved the way.
Right.
And it made the set a totally nurturing atmosphere.
Ganda.
Yeah, so for me, that's the value of, she was not just making film, she was making the environment, access, para sa ating mga babae, na hindi tayo
Female
matatakot.
center.
Kung buntis tayo, kailangan natin mag-breastfeed, hindi tayo mapapressure na tigilan natin yung pag-breastfeed natin.
Parang ang hirap ba ngayon sa mga babaeng directors to penetrate the industry and become a director?
May mga siguro layers sa emotions na nahihimay ng babae.
For the life of me, hindi ko kayang magpaiyak ng artista.
Ay, talaga?
Hindi ko talaga kaya.
Anything that will capture the Filipina identity, resilience, silent rebellion, and our integrity, go ako dyan.
Pero tayo rin minsan, meron tayong pang-iipit, pangharang, at pagkulong sa